acceptance for me in my life I found my purpose when I finally admitted that I had no control over nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for us and the way we do our business, man, we don't have control of nothing. When you say control, a lot of people, there's absolute control and then there's like control. Control is control. There's one definition for control in the dictionary, and we don't have it.
Okay, another episode of Jack of all trades. We have Dakota here, and I wanted to touch on that. Dakota and I, before this, we said, "Hey, let's start trying to collaborate together more often."
Yes, sir.
And I see other podcasts having the same guests on, and I liked that you got a different touch of it if you continue to follow a different touch every
Yeah.
time of like what's new and what's updating with each other, so you can kind of see a continuation instead of just a one-off,
That's
like
cool. The next chapter.
the next chapter, like
Read
what are we doing now?
read the next chapter, man. It's crazy. Yeah, man, still at LOC, still rocking and rolling, still growing, still getting after it, man. Life has been good, man. There's got some trials and tribulations going on, both figuratively and literally, you know what I mean? Just but like I said, man, overall life's good, man. Blessed every day. Marriage is healthy, kids are healthy, family's healthy. So yeah, man, just rocking and rolling.
Yeah, so tell me, yes, one of the tell me what's the we'll start with, you want to go the good news, the bad news
Man, just
first? Which one's
hey,
first, the good news or the bad news?
dude, at the end of the day, I'm down either way. So
Let's
just
go bad news first. We'll make that one short. What's the pain point in Dakota's life right now?
pain point right now.
Well, actually, let me interrupt
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Pain point, and let's go. I do want to go Midland. Like we see the oil prices
Yeah.
are going a little bit down. In myself, and I'll say it first, we see a steadiness, but not like we're busy in the West Texas right now.
Yeah, and that is exactly where I was headed, right?
Yeah.
So the biggest pain right now is in these downturns, something that we really try to focus on is controlling our cost, right? Uh, quickest way to, in my opinion, right? I'm a newer businessman, so some of these uh older cats may disagree. I mean, that's fine. I'm willing to learn, but I think control our costs right now is the biggest thing because the market dictates our sale price, obviously. So we can't do like other people tend to want to build a market around their business, and that's a fallacy. That's something that doesn't work, but you see it happen all the time. They get in business and they think so high of themselves for whatever reason. Just I'm not saying it's a personal thing or anything like that, but they envision business should run and be conducted a certain way, right? And at the end of the day, it's just not reality. It's a extreme detachment from reality. And so with us, with our business, the several different things that we have going on, we just look at controlling our cost. And one way that we try to control our cost is become more efficient, whether that's with less individuals or you're trying to come in. If you have a quoted job scheduled for 45 days, we try to come in, at 40 days, whatever the case may be. And that's a hypothetical, right? But yeah, when the market downturns, we just control our costs because the market is going to dictate everything outside of that. So we really go to focusing on our costs. So that's kind of how we
Yeah.
do business in a nutshell,
Yeah,
right?
control what the business owner can control at the
Yes.
time,
Yes.
and then don't envision that what's you think supposed to happen is going to happen, because I think that we touched on this month. God has a plan for you, and he's and it's not for you to dictate.
It's man, we just roll with the punches, man.
Roll with it,
And I
right?
and I know people. I was one of these people, man, that would somebody say, "Well, oh, God's got it." You know what I mean? So yeah, whatever. But still, I'm in the middle of it, right? I was one of those people, and I still am sometimes, right? Like, God, I know you got it, but man,
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, what works for me, right? What works for Chance as well. My mentor, he's been on your show before. You know him both business and personally, right? Man, we just turn it over to him, dude. Just and we just get up and go to work. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? We don't worry about, you know, when I say we don't worry about, we absolutely worry, but we know that our worry does no good. We're not one of those people that gets hung up in that whirlpool of, you know, like the old, you know, down the drain kind of thing where it's doom and gloom. We just don't worry about that kind of stuff, man. We just get up because we were put here. Specifically speak for Chance, and he shared his story with me, and it was like a big light went off from him. You know, we were put here to do what we're doing today.
Mhm.
So we were put here to do, and I know that as long as we're upset, you know, accepting of that, that that we will stay busy. We will do what we were put here to do because we have submitted to that will
Mhm.
of hey guys, good Lord talking like, hey, this is what I built you for.
Mhm.
This is what I need you to go do, you know, because we get to witness to people, man, randomly. And I'm not one of those guys that'll beat you in the head with the word. I'm not that guy. But I'll sit down and have a beer with you, and if you got something going on, man, I will ask you about your faith.
Right.
You know what I mean? That guy. And like I said, there's so much that I used to keep my faith and my profession totally opposite of each other, just totally divided. And is what I found is both were in some sense of disarray all the time. One or the other was, whether I was so focused on work that I slacked on my faith, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, it's like I ain't got time, I ain't got time. And that's an excuse. That's the devil telling you ain't got time, right? But when I put them together, they both started tracking, as we say. You know what
Mhm.
I mean?
Yeah, they start
Yeah,
tracking.
yeah. Stuff started tracking the right way, man. And so that's something I've learned. It's new to me, man. It's I've learned in the past year or so, man. It's been such a blessing, uh, landing where I landed.
Mhm.
Like I said, and there's some people that absolutely hate it out there in the world, and they're coming after us, you know, and that's fine. And those of you that listen to the podcast know what's going on in my life, and it's nothing that I can speak on today, but it's something that we're dealing with. It's very real to us. But at the end of the day, you know, everything will settle right where it's supposed to
Yeah.
settle when that time comes, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so the pain point, you know, the market's downturned. You know, you can see that the US government, they're looks like they're trying to play a little hardball with everyone. Look, and that's not anything that I've learned too, is that I dabble in it and I
Hmm.
look at it because it does, you can see the effect that it may or may not have, but we're not the president. We're not in control of the free world. And so we don't have any control. That all we can do is control what we have here in West Texas.
That's it.
And
And we really can't control that. We just play the hand
yeah,
that's
right.
dealt us, you
Well,
know.
I'm like, yeah, I would call it like our own, you know, our own circle of influence.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
Yeah. So we're not talking to, and then we're not dealing with the other countries. We're dealing me. Well, I know
Yes.
that me personally,
Right.
I'm only in West Texas. I'm only dealing with the people that are around me.
Right.
And so how can I control those things and to make what I call in a business aspect,
Mhm.
everyone still, even if things aren't looking as
Mhm.
bright, a positive feedback
Mhm.
loop. Even hey, if we're gonna go down, let's keep the feedback loop going in a
Yep.
positive direction.
Yeah.
And how does that need to look? And so I think that we're going through those same.
Oh, for sure. You know, it's funny when I say this, people are going to laugh and they're going to call me the biggest retard, and that's fine, or whatever the politically correct term today is for special needs or whatever, right?
we,
Yeah,
my wife,
I'm
my
just
daughter and I joke sped. We call it sped.
yeah, like I said, whatever people call that, and you know, for me, the biggest thing I've had to admit, because you were talking about what you could control in your circle, and this is a touch of spiritual and a touch
Mm,
of business, right? Acceptance for me in my life became I found my purpose when I finally admitted that I had no control over nothing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And for us and the way we do our business, man, we don't have control of nothing. When you say control, you know, a lot of people, there's absolute control and then there's like control. Control is control. There's one definition for control in the dictionary, and we don't have it. You know what I mean? We like to pat ourselves on the back and say that we have control. But we don't have control. You may have a handle on it, but control, no, we never have
You
control.
know, that's funny you say handle like the because I think we would both relate that we both tried to like control these variables, and then you
Can't do it.
and at a moment you're like, ah,
Yeah.
I got it, you know,
How
and
long? How long's that last?
like
And
it
that
just,
and
it
that's
just,
my exact point. You know, you're
it
playing.
just like it will never, it doesn't. And I always think it like in recent news, if I were to bring up a recent event, and I know this is super weird, I don't follow it,
Mhm.
I just see it, is that the P. Diddy guy,
Yeah.
rich as you can be, you know, like he had the whole world,
Yeah.
and like now, and it just, and so, and I don't look, I don't actually know the situation. I'm not here to judge the situation.
I
What I'm
know
saying
very
is
little.
simply that if someone was to look from the outside
Mhm.
towards this guy, like this guy, that you would see with your eyes, like this guy has it all.
Mhm.
This guy has everything. And in a moment now, like look, his world is crashing in because I felt like he probably tried to like
Oh,
control these everything, you know.
absolutely. You can go back and look at a documentary he did several years ago. This was when all that first stuff, when all that stuff broke right out of the gate, right? And watched something, and they had some snippets from like a biography he did on MTV or something like that, and you could tell the guy was an absolute control freak, right? And that goes back to kind of what we're, you know, getting back to the business side of it. You know, you you can lie to yourself and say you have control of it. How long does that last? You have a handle on it. You may have a handle on it today, and when you lay down tonight, you wake up in the morning, you have a whole new host of problems, issues, whether it's employee, equipment, customer, industry, black swan event, COVID 20, whatever we're going to be on now. Or I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
There's all these variables. So I will never say I have control of a situation.
Yeah, they don't, it's just like
I've got a handle on it. I may have a handle on it,
yeah.
but I'm just not. So we don't use words like control just because it's a fallacy. Again, you know, it's one of those things. You know, you have these people that are so anal, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? They're so have to control everything. Those people fail.
Mhm.
They may fail year one, they may fail year 15, 14, 15, 16. They're going to fail. And, you know, again, going back to my personal experience, when I come to the realization that I had no control, the only thing that I had absolute control of in my life was my relationship with my Lord and Savior.
Mhm.
As soon as I realized that's the only thing I have control of is that. And that's because he's always there. It's whether or not we choose to seek him, right? And so for me, once I realized that's the only thing in my life I had absolute control of was my choice to call on him every day and make him a part of my daily walk and my daily life. Until I accepted all that, man, the rest of it was chaos. Everything in my life was chaos
Yeah.
in some capacity. Now
It's a,
there was less chaos, you know, but it's looking at it now, you know, now that I'm somewhat on the other side of all of that, looking back at it, the stuff I thought I had control of, dude, it was organized chaos.
Mhm.
It
Yeah,
was,
organized.
it was not. I had control of nothing. So I know that's kind of random, but
Yeah.
like I said, that's kind of where I'm at with that. You know?
What's the good things? What's the good
Man,
things right now? I think that
the
you said your
same.
son is was
Yeah, so my son, you know, he you know, he's bumping right at 6'5". I think last time I was on the show, he was 6'4", like 265. I mean, he just hit right at 6'5". He had a weigh in last week, first part of the week, something like that. Not too sure, it all runs together these days. But yeah, man, he's 6'5", 270. He's a bench
that's a
pressing.
massive human
Yeah,
being.
he's you know, just a freshman. He actually finished their last day of school was today, going into his sophomore year. We got an All-American showcase I'm taking you to in Houston Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. He got invited to. So, man, we're excited. It's a journey, and I'm just glad to kind of be old dad in the
Yeah,
shadows
we
and,
did.
watch him do his thing, you know. But yeah, we're super excited about that. But you know, back to your point of what's good, man, it's the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It really, like, everything that I say was bad in my life, man, it's good too, you know? Like I said, good Lord tells us in all things give thanks, you know?
In all things, every day,
All
I count your blessing.
all
My
th
yeah,
all
count
things
your
give thanks, man, because, you know, we celebrate our wins,
Mhm.
we celebrate our losses, because there's lessons learned in both, and there's a testimony in both. And man, when you get to a point where and it goes back to acceptance. When you go back to you don't have control of nothing. What happens happens. Now there is a free will. You know, good Lord did give us free will, right? So put that aside. 'Cause I'm just saying, get up and do you every day. Do your job every day. We have no control outside of any of that, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, man, as far as, you know, again, what's good is what's bad is
What's
what's
bad is
good in my
good.
life, man.
Yeah.
Because I'm learning stuff either way, man. I'll tell you what I've learned a lot over the past several months is I truly learned what what loyalty is
Mhm.
and what it's not.
Mhm.
I have learned that. I have learned, like I said, with some stuff I've got going on,
Mhm.
uh, that you and I have discussed privately, right? There's you learn what loyalty
Okay.
is, and
Yeah.
it's so. Like I said, that's, you know, aside from me celebrating the good and bad in my life, but you know, lessons learned since our last conversation, man, most definitely
Most definitely.
loyalty.
Yeah, loyalty.
Lo-
Yeah. So the immersion, as I picture it in my head, the emotional curve, you're going like this,
um,
and you just try not to like dip too low
Dip too low
or
or
go
go too high.
or go too high.
As my brother says, and like I said, me and my brother have a very strange, very weird relationship. We're two totally different individuals, two totally different people. Uh, as he says, stay humble, don't stumble.
Yeah, don't stumble.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I am definitely one of those guys, man, where I have to keep. I'm a prideful individual, you know, just due to my own sinful nature. I'm a very prideful guy, but I've had to learn through experience that I can't pat myself on the back
Yeah. Right.
because it goes straight to my
Yeah.
head and I have control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And,
yeah, and I know
yeah,
that if you do,
I know that if I celebrate, and that goes back to why I don't celebrate
yeah, I give it the
excessively.
excess. Yeah, I give yeah. So I've heard that like give it a day. You know, celebrate for. Don't like drag this out.
Yeah.
Like get your win in, get your little hand
Yeah,
clap,
just I
and then we did it, and then
that's
we
one thing.
gotta just yeah. You want to just celebrate that win for
That's one thing I love about Chance David, right? That you don't have to worry about staying humble around that guy because he will check you daily.
yeah
You know what I mean? Which I need that, man. It's a could not ask for, you know, again, I say this every time we talk, man. The mentorship that dude has given me, man, is it's worth more than any possession
yeah
I have. And I'm one of those guys. I have a lot of stuff that I don't need. I also say that, but you know, it's my most valuable possession that I have is my friendship with the guy that I work for. Aside from my wife, right? The
Mhm.
wife's a given for us married guys. That's, you know, your wife's your best friend. She's your ride or die, right?
yeah
The good ones are,
yeah
right?
good one yeah you're
Yeah,
confident
yeah. And but aside from that, man, my most valuable possession is that, you know, friends and, you know, family aside, right? But yeah, man, it's been crazy, man. There's a lot going on in Dakota's world right now,
yeah
you
good
know. Yeah, so
oh
we're
good
we're excited, man. We're excited. And it's not just me, man. It's nothing that I'm doing. It's nothing that LOC is doing, man. We, you know, people get conflicted with service companies. They think they're more than what they are. They like to worship at the altar of what they have, what they did, uh, who their customers are, who
man.
their vendors are, right? But I'll tell you one thing that people need to realize about service companies, right? Service companies are a platform and a payroll service. That's what they are. What is jack of all trades without you being at the front of it? There you go.
Yeah, right. No.
What is company X. I'm talking small service companies.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
not talking the Halliburtons of the world and that kind of stuff. I'm talking your diehard West Texas. Man, we're here to try to do something. Service companies. They just need to accept that they're a platform and a payroll service.
Yeah. No,
Tell me what company, what ink on paper's ever sold anything.
yeah, no,
I'll wait.
oh, yeah.
And that's just where I stand with that stuff, man. Because that's one thing I pride myself on, man, is the relationships that I have that I've made over a 20+ year career are, man, they're rock solid, right? Rock solid relationships. No matter where I'm at, what I'm doing, I maintain those. I still got relationships from when I was roughnecking 20+ years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Just out of you see something in people and you ride with those people. You know what I mean? This guy's going to be something. You know, this guy's never going to be more than a floor hand, but he's cool as hell. I just want to stay in touch with this guy. You know what I mean? And it's the same way with customers, man. Customers are going to follow. They're going to follow the people they trust. They don't give a damn what company you work at. They don't care. They don't care. They trust you. You know, that's like if, God forbid, something happened to Jack of all trades for due to something you had no control over, and you started Jack of all trades 2.0. Guess what? Those people are going to follow you. They're not going to try to stay with this,
Right?
Because you were that. So now you're this. You know what I mean? And that's something that I've come to the realization over the past couple years is, man, companies are ink on paper. They're stitches in everybody's polos out here. Everybody's fishing shirt in West Texas, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's cap. That's what a company is to me, man. We're just, and like I said, a lot of people argue with that.
Yeah. Two things I had. I had Mike on. He was a banker.
Yeah.
Here in West, a small bank in West Texas. Talks about the people. You know, it's like the relationships. And then Curtis, is before the podcast that we had was. Then the bad one. It was like the guy that the business owner that I get on the phone with, and within 5 minutes he boasts about his revenue number. I just like, man, I'm just go.
He doesn't post it on LinkedIn like others out here.
I'm like,
oh my God,
boy, like,
yeah,
man, it's just like you just know like there's just a difference. There's just a difference in the way to handle these things.
Goes back to what I've always said about our little LOC, man. We're the biggest company you never heard of, and we plan on staying that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Business is fun.
Yeah.
And
I love it, dude.
We had Curtis that was playing in the National Football Championship against Georgia.
Yeah.
And now he's in the oil and patch world, and that's such an interesting story because it's still like the same. You're still fighting the same battles, is what it. As time goes on, you're still fighting those same like things of how it's people first, the mindsets first, not the greed. Like when you start, the greed comes in, or the pride comes in, or and then you just say you just feel like, man.
The people
and we all want to be prideful.
Yeah,
so
it's
like,
our sinful nature.
I'm not better than that. What I'm saying is this: like, I love how actually talking to you, or you keep with fellow men, and you still, hey, everyone, keep that old pride down.
You got to, man, because it will destroy me, dude. Because like I said, naturally, it's just like I guess I got a double helping of that sinful nature when it comes to my pride, man. Because I fight it every day, man. There's probably been people that I've offended, man, out here that I wish I could have a redo with just because of my own arrogance. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, it sucks, and dude, but at the end of the day, as you become aware of it, and it's a conscious thought, it's a lot easier to really, keep that stuff under control,
Yeah. How old are you?
40. I'll be 41 in October.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
Curtis is 20. And as we see these life lessons come with age, like your age, and you get slapped in the butt, I feel like Curtis, but he has been through the ringer and more than then so it's like, man, it's cool how you can the progression of trying to become like a better human
Yeah, man.
altogether. It's like,
So to add to that, you get where you catch yourself wanting to mentor younger men, and I'm kind of at that midpoint in my career, right, where I'm not the old guy, but I'm not the 20 something anymore either. You know what I mean? I'm 20 plus years in, and I feel like I probably have, Lord willing, hopefully I have another 20 in me, which I have no intentions of doing this another 20 years. I just would like that option,
yeah,
right? But it's one of those things, man, where you wanna get a hold to these young guys and just tell them like, "Hey, man, I'm strictly telling you this to shorten your learning curve." And then I go back throughout my career and I was like, I wonder where I got that line from. Oh, my dad told me that, and it didn't work. You know what I mean? Like I'm sitting here, like I'm talking to some random guy, right? And my own dad would try. Hey, son, I'm telling you this. You're not going to listen. Now we're kind of getting to that age. I'm getting to that age a little more than you, right? That you want to share. Like these guys aren't going to listen to me. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like with men, it's all right. Hey, man, appreciate you telling me. Now I'm gonna go burn the house down. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how it works, man. It's like we're stuck in this vicious cycle. But I think it's what it boils down to. It is maturity over time. I mean, there's nothing you can tell me. You can tell me how bad something sucks, but if I'm hell bent on doing it, I'm not gonna believe you.
dude,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then I go and do it, and it's like, man,
he was right the whole time,
that
right?
sucked worse than he said it did. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just something that, man, and there's so many different angles to approach everything we're talking about. But man, at the end of the day, I approach it all with this, and I can kind of uh just put my thumb on it. Man, just acceptance.
Uh-huh.
It's acceptance.
Except that I always accept the world's pretty messy, and the world's pretty messy.
Yeah. One thing, so both of my nieces, right? Both my brother's daughters, they're graduated. I think my youngest niece graduates this Friday, I think. Not too sure, but like I said, they live 8.5, 9 hours from here. But they both rodeo. They both college. Or the youngest is going to be college rodeoing this next year. But on the side of their horse trailer, and they have a pretty nice rig, so it's real easy to read because it's in big letters. We never lose. We either win or learn.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And I guess that's where I'm at when I say acceptance, because a lot of people, oh, that guy will roll over and accept defeat. No, so you're not hearing what I'm saying. You're listening to my words. You ain't hearing me, and there's a difference.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? For those that are going to listen to this podcast, I hope you hear me. Don't just listen to me. Hear what I'm saying, and don't listen to my words, right? Because a lot of times when I speak, and I don't know why my dad is this way. Like he'll say something, you're like, what? And then when you get off, oh, okay, now I know what he was trying to say. You know what I mean? And again, that's just one of those things. When I say acceptance, hear what I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like the same way I've done better about
Hmm.
hearing older men that you, of course, and that's it's not just men. This is humans that I've seen either way that they never took that next
Hmm.
step. And so now you have someone maybe in their 60s or 70s that has never tried to progress their, but you find the people that have continually throughout their life tried to go through the same path, fail at it, and then keep, progressing through it. And I would say that for the first time I've tried to listen more, and then okay, I'm gonna accept that as truth
Hmm.
and not go down that path anymore, rather than before it was like no one can tell me how to live my life and I'm gonna do it anyway.
This is one of those hear what I'm saying
Yeah.
statements. The guys that have the most to say the
They
least. You know what I mean?
Yep. And then it's like those guys that you naturally
Hmm.
gravitate towards them. They don't like gravitate towards you. They're just like you want this too, and they've already been there, and then you get to them, and then that's when they'll speak to you.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
right?
they will. The guy that and we're all active to an extent with with pushing our motive out there, specifically on LinkedIn. Because you and I discussed how LinkedIn is such an important part of the oil and gas business in the Permian Basin. You know, when I was in the Eagle Ford in South Texas, like LinkedIn wasn't that big of a deal with the industry down there. I'm sure I'm sure it's changed over the years, right? But I'm specifically saying then. I think the whole platform has changed. But really, when I got to the Permian several years ago, like that was when I realized like the marketing side of LinkedIn, right? So because I don't like I've gotten to a point. Those that have known me years past and haven't talked to me in a while wouldn't recognize the man I am today. They just wouldn't, you know, because with through mentorship and prayer and understanding and acceptance, I've been able to be the guy that because I'm thinking it doesn't mean I need to say it, or if I've got something to say, it doesn't mean it's a time to say it. Read the room. Is it the right time? Is it the right crowd? Not the right audience? You know, so before I was like, F it, here it is. And I would say whatever I had to say. You know, timing be wrong, crowd be wrong, totally misread the room. You know what I mean? So that's something that will help in certain situations too. You know, is
Yeah.
just being able to listen and not speak as much because I struggle with it, man. It goes back to my pride, man. Sometimes I got stuff to say that, and I stuttered for the first 14 years of my life,
Yeah.
extremely bad.
Yeah.
So I feel like I still got a lot of crap to catch up on. You know what I mean? Because I didn't speak a whole lot when I was a kid. Because
Yeah.
hell, I couldn't. You know.
Yeah.
So
And no, I get it. I totally get it. Let's change to the. What do you think? Right now we're at a downturn. What's how long you think it's gonna? People are asking me. How long do you think? What's your projection?
I
Anyway, I know you don't.
laugh.
We can't control that.
Yeah,
But what do you? I do want to hear. What's your
I
opinion?
laugh at our industry, man. We have a Republican in office. I love Trump. I voted for Trump.
Yeah.
I'm Trump 2028. Oh, not going to happen, but I'm just saying I'm that much of a Trump fan. But we have a Republican in office. Who was surprised?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't.
No.
Not at all. Not even close. Not even. I felt nothing. I felt exactly what I felt last time.
Which I think was like he was like, hey, we're gonna try to lower all the prices for everyone.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
was like that was the thing, right? I mean,
that's
so and now we're here.
I guess the most exciting part about this is we're finna see who's in the Permian to really be in the Permian.
Yeah, right. You get to knock off the has but the I always like that
May
part.
the best man
May
win.
the best man win. This is what I like about the
This is
downturn.
this is me trying to be humble.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
No, that's hey, no, I think
I,
completely different about the competitiveness of
yeah,
man. Like let's all
no,
let's
yeah,
all battle it out, you
yeah.
know?
We're not going to be the company because you're going to see them, especially in your business. Who can race to the bottom first?
Who can erase the bottom
You'll see who owes the much money
mm-hmm.
because that's what happens when you owe a bunch of money. What's the first thing you do? You race to the bottom because you're trying to generate cash flow to keep the bank from coming to get your stuff.
Oh.
So you tell me next time we visit who's dropping their rates the fastest.
Yeah.
You'll know who owes the money. You'll know who's cash heavy because they're going to adjust accordingly in a sensible manner. And you'll know who is debt free because they will downsize. They will capture the top end of the market and they will maintain their key players in important positions. And when the market comes back, they will grow the quickest, they will grow the fastest on the backside of that.
And there you have it.
And I will bet the farm on anything I just said.
Yeah, so then that's everyone that's business 101 right there. Like
From a guy that's just a dude playing another dude. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So but yeah, take that to the bank. Those who run to the bottom of the market first owe the most money
Oh, the most money. And then we
every time.
and I will say that the most competitive in a good sense and the most competitive men that don't that try to keep their pride in check and
Hmm.
they will all make it at the
Hmm.
same rate.
Hmm.
They're all like there's room for everyone. There's an abundance of everyone is if you follow the way that I would say that the good Lord asked you to live your life.
Yeah, there is room for everybody, as long as everybody believes there is room for everybody. Is what happens is you have these uh, big companies, or maybe not a big company, maybe just a healthy size company, right? That they they will try to, because they may have some cash reserves, right? They may have some,
Or they get
yeah,
investments. I see
yeah,
that. They get a
yeah,
good bunch of.
yeah, a bunch of, but or like I said, right now, and I don't know, that's not a financial guy, right? But I don't know anybody really throwing. And this is at my level, right? I'm sure in boardrooms and stuff like that, and these private equity firms, they probably have a totally different view than I know they have a different view than I do. But from what I see on the ground level right now, I don't see people throwing tons of money in the industry right now. Again, that's at my level with my perspective on my little part of what we do. I don't see a lot of people like pumping money into that stuff, right? Could be totally wrong. I just don't see it, right? Because I'm just a little field guy. That's where I want to be. Just a little operations guy, right? And but yeah, we just until going back to my point, I'm sorry I got off track just a second, but you'll have those guys that'll come in. The first thing they want to do is come in. All right, we can put these guys out of business. Let's axe our rates or whatever. Whatever. They try to drive the little guy. They try to drive the LOCs out of business, the jack of all trades out of business. But the problem is it goes back to what they say. They want to drive LOC out of business. They want to drive jack of all trades out of business. But what they're forgetting is, yeah, you can want to run that company out of business, but who are the people at that company?
Yeah.
What are the customers going to say about that? Because if the customer likes these guys, they're going to pay a little more because they trust these guys. So there's some hope there for us little guys, man.
Yeah, that's what I like about I still feel like and I guess I can't speak for the United States, but just from the story, these
Mhm.
are just stories, is that trust and that's what you're speaking about is still very alive and well. And I know I have that with the customers, and you have that with your customers, and
Too,
like,
yeah.
hey, we're gonna keep we're not gonna let this.
Hell,
We're all
hell,
gonna.
I have that with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I need something, I'm in a jam. There's certain stuff that I know that is outside of what I typically deal with, and when those come up, I don't even think about who to call. I
Yeah.
either call or text you. Hey, man, here's what I need. I normally don't handle this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? This is where I need it, and
That's right.
send me an invoice.
Send me. He's like, we gotta get this done.
Yeah. So
we're gonna keep.
and like I said, those are the types of relationships that will get us all through these minute downturns. But again, the only thing that will get you through a true downturn uh, is just managing your cost.
Mhm.
Again, there's some big wheels out there that'll laugh and say this guy's a freaking idiot. Okay.
No, I
You know.
don't think any of the smart money. I call it smart, like the guys that have been there, and maybe not the private. I think the whole
Mm,
classification, and I was proud of Mike for talking about the banking industry between even the small and the big banks. And I
mhm,
think for me, I don't know. I always feel like there's kind of like a little type of a war with that, because uh it seems like a lot of like the
mhm.
big, massive businesses are kind of like fake money. It's not fake money, but it's not like,
They can't call their banker on a Sunday afternoon and say, "Hey,
yeah,
I just run across a deal and I wrote a check for this property.
you got me. Yeah.
I need it to be good on Monday." And they, yeah, man, I got you. I'll call you Monday.
Mm-hmm.
What's that worth?
What's that
What's that?
worth, right?
What's that worth? Because I have a banker that I could call. I could probably call him right now
Yeah.
on this show and he answer the phone.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? As soon as I do that, he wouldn't answer. But like I said, we have that kind of relationship, right? Everything that I owe money on, a couple vehicles, uh, and a couple toys. That's about it. Now, in my house, I forgot to tell you, but we'll get into that in a minute. It's bought a new house too. But so no, like everything I have is at one bank, and I pay a higher interest rate there because it is a small bank in East Texas.
And then the banker, but he answered it like, dude, it's invaluable. And I don't know
I can't quantify that and put a dollar amount on it because I know I could get cheaper interest rates going through the manufacturers that of my wife's car and my truck, I know I could get better interest rates. But when I call his cell phone, I don't have to press one for English, and I don't have to wait on hold, and I don't have to talk to some call center that has, you know, that has no clue who I am. They have no clue of my situation, and like I said, man. So
No, dude, I have
we'll
the
see who
similar. Yeah,
deals. I guess is where I'm headed with that. To kind of summarize that up, is we're fixing to see who has real money and who got uh
who knows?
who has that investor money versus who has real access to cash.
Yeah, who knows how to make
The
cash.
golden rule, man. He who has the gold makes rules. We're
So
fixing to see.
I had the same. I had the same outlook. I remember in the very beginning of the business, I was still banking with Wells Fargo, and I didn't know what I
Horrible.
know now.
Horrible.
I walk in there, and it was just like the banker was and look, I don't have anything against. There's nothing like, but it was very rigid conversation.
hmm
It was very black and white.
hmm
There was no interpersonal dialogue, and it was like, well, for one,
You were talking to a robot with a pulse.
yeah. And then I learned that, like, I'm not saying I'm better than Wells. What I'm saying is that Wells Fargo doesn't want me either. Okay, so I'm not gonna they don't want me,
Mhm.
and that wasn't that wasn't where I needed to be. And then I go and I ride dirt bikes with my banker now,
That's what I was been saying. My banker vacations with us, literally.
and his bills get paid every single month
Mhm.
for 7 years straight. And now, like, there's nothing that you
It's a
can.
good relationship.
There's nothing. Yeah.
But back to you were asking me what all was new when we first got started, man.
Yeah.
I skipped over some stuff, man. So I'm an official Midland, Texas resident.
Midland,
Been in
Texas.
Odessa forever. Finally moved over here with the
You're
rich
in
folks.
the rich folks.
Yeah, man.
Oh God, the whole
See,
white and blue collar.
I'm white collar now, baby. Yeah, but no, man, it's so yeah, we found a home that we really liked right here northwest Midland there at Green Tree.
Mhm.
Found a nice place there that we bought. Got a good deal on the place, man. So we're excited to be there. Excited to be a part of Midland. Looking forward to getting to know more of the community out in the Green Tree area, 'cause that's where we are, right? Me and my wife have turned into hermits for sure. Oh yeah, dude, it's bad. But no, man, like I said, that man, been dabbling in the real estate game a little
Oh,
bit.
have you?
Yeah,
Well,
man.
one thing on the sidetrack is that, yeah, as I get older, like my circle of influence, it just like you start getting real tight knit with, and I guess this may be a natural kind of order. Like, oh, I can trust
Yeah.
these people,
Yeah.
and so yeah, you start turning into a little hermit a little
Right,
bit.
dude, I'm there, man. Anybody that knows me from my past, hell, you liable to see me anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean, yeah, like where's Waldo? You know what I mean? I'd be all over the Permian Basin,
Mhm.
But yeah, man, like I said, when you asked what was new, like I said, I left out so much. That you just really want to focus on work. We'll talk more of the personal stuff, man. Got into flipping some real estate.
Mhm.
Got some properties bought, and we're remodeling and some of the older nicer subdivisions here in Midland.
Okay.
So man, we're excited about that. Like I said, got that stuff going on. Just really looking at doubling down on the real estate side of things out here too. Just kind of diversifying, trying to stay as Chance says, we're trying to stay low and wide. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So really looking to diversify our financial portfolio a little bit. Having some direction and guidance on that has been extremely helpful. But man, we're just stepping out there and trying to buy them for, 80, $85 a square foot, and putting another $40 a square foot in them, and just trying to flip them, and
So we can get.
yeah, flip them for hopefully $200 a square foot. That's kind of,
Yeah. Yeah.
those are just, like I said, those are roundabout numbers, right? But it's doable out here, and we're excited to be a part of
That's
it.
fun.
Yeah, man, found some local contractors we've kind of partnered up with that are doing our remodels for us. Yeah, man, it goes back to having a good banker too.
Yeah,
You
right.
know what
Yeah.
I mean? So it's exciting. Like I said, we're excited to see what it is. But yeah, man, we're just definitely doubling down on the city of Midland and really wanting to become a value added citizen to the local community and just trying to make do some home improvements and just
Cool.
yeah, man, just doing the thing. So
Well, that's awesome.
yeah,
Fun. And I will add that what's new is by the time Ryan gets his podcast, and I think it's going to be finished, so I'm going to start dabbling this in here. Is that uh, so I own Jack of all trades, but
hmm
Kurt and Beth have been with me for years, and they got some equity. But we decided we're going to start another venture
yeah,
of a market that we I could never fulfill.
hmm
Even to this day, I cannot fulfill in Dakota. I have your machines trying to fulfill them right now, and that is the equipment repair market. And so we
good luck, brother.
good. So my idea, yeah, good luck.
Yeah, no, and like I said, that's a sarcastic good luck, but that's a positive good luck
Yeah,
too. One thing you will struggle with in that business because now you're stepping over into my world, right?
yeah,
In the mechanical repair business, the thing that brought me to the Permian, that I found a healthy amount of success in, and your biggest issue you're gonna run into out here is it's like and everybody's like that. Well, hell, we knew that. It's not a hidden secret, but it's with the mechanics,
with the mechanics.
that is going to be your biggest
Yeah,
downfall.
so
Then I say downfall. That's going to be your biggest. It's going to be your biggest anchor, right?
amazing.
Because having equipment, all you got to do is call me. I got something broke. I'll send you all the time.
All the time.
All the time. I've got something broke.
If I go sell and I'm like rentals, like we start
Mhm.
meeting new people and you get, we get the rentals. It's not like the rental game's bad. It's a great business.
Yep.
It's a great business. What I'm saying though is if you go tell anyone, like there was years in here out of my 7 years where I stopped telling people that I repaired equipment because if I told one person,
Yep.
dude, it was like
Yep.
the flood would come and I'm like, dude, I can't even, there's no, I don't even into your thing. It was like, okay, then you go through mechanics and then and I'm gonna and I hate to say this, but like you're 35, we've come to the same. I still every day, not every. I'm not gonna say every day. Almost every single day. I did today for 4 hours straight. I
hmm
went outside and I diagnosed machinery because I cannot find peers that
hmm
know how to do that.
Yep.
And it is the biggest. You are exactly right. It's the biggest anchor right now. And so I have already I have a whole training
hmm
regimen
hmm
for my a process that I've implemented to try to because then you come and you go and you'll pay a guy $50 or $60 and I swear sometimes I'd pay whatever someone wanted that knows what they're doing and I've had multiple of those guys come in and then they turn out that they're not being truthful about what they actually know.
Excellent resume writers.
Yeah, excellent resume writers. And
Yeah.
so it's the toughest market.
I'm going to tell you my experience with any kind of mechanical service, right? If people were not an issue, and everybody's going to say this, right? This is like a common thing, but let's say specifically in the rental equipment business, forklifts, skid steers, man lifts, you know, track hose, dozers, mini X's, that kind of stuff. This typical type rental equipment. If I had a unlimited supply of qualified technicians, I have zero doubt that I would own the biggest shop in the Permian Basin.
Right. That's
It's a fact.
the fact.
I would.
You would be a truly
Matter of fact, I would run it. I would run rotations that would have a man camp on it, and I would fly technicians in from all over the freaking world if I had to, and we'd be running around the clock 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you could keep it absolutely slammed down with work.
with work. And
Don't think I haven't looked at it.
yeah,
No.
everyone. Oh, no, I know. Dude, we know. And Derek,
Yeah.
we know Derek well. We see, everyone sees that market, and it is just it is so hard, but it can be huge, and I'm punching on it right now.
Mhm.
That's what we're making. It's the business called Equipment Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
and the
I
goal
like
is the goal So what I have found personally though is because any mechanic any mechanic that is good doesn't need me
Mm-mm.
anymore. And that's a fact. They don't
There's
need me because they have as much work on their own as they want. So we
But a
do
lot of them goes back to what I said. They need a platform and a payroll
they're
service.
in a platform
'Cause I'm
payroll
gonna tell you,
service.
there's very few, right? Very few, and I'm gonna give props to some that have done this, but I'm talking as a whole. There's very few rock star mechanics that are businessmen.
Mm-hmm.
Very few.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very few. I don't care if you were the guru back in the 90s and 2000s. Doesn't mean you know how to run a business in the 2020s. You know what I mean? Or the 20 teens for that matter. You know what I mean? Like, hey, cool story. You know, but yeah, at the end of the day, man, I mean, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? Great
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
And just text, figure out the game. The game of that is not to figure out the business. You know the business. The game. If you want to be a game changer and you want to put Equipment Daddy on the map, figure out how to recruit the techs to the Permian Basin.
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Figure that part out.
Figure that out. The rest of it's I can send a text
Yeah.
and have you something there tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Figure that out. That's your business. Your business is to figure out how to get the techs.
How to get the
rest
techs
of
in.
it, the rest of it's, I mean, hell, I can get Drake, you know, my 12-year-old that graduated the 7th grade today. I can get him to hustle your work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's seen old dad do it his whole life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So figure I'm going to challenge you with that.
Yeah.
As a startup to the business side, you got that down.
Yeah.
You handle your business extremely well. It's been my experience from day one, right? And but yeah, get the text. The business there is get the text.
Get the text. So yeah, the app is we get third party texts that don't work directly for me, and we have an application on iOS and Android, and if Dakotah has something down, you put in your app, put in the app.
It's a dispatch service for technicians.
Dispatch service for technicians in the oil and gas industry. And so I'm hoping that the biggest pain point that I have now is gonna be the biggest pain point, but the goal is to try to punch on it, I guess.
Hey
you
man,
would say.
some of those younger kids, young men, young women that are coming out of these trade schools now,
Right,
man,
and I hope
they're gonna like that kind of stuff. They're gonna like the fact that ding, they've got equipment down within a 50-mile radius of their location. Here's what it is.
Here's what it is.
Yeah, I can fix that.
Yeah, okay.
Accept the job.
Go.
It's pretty cool, man. I like it.
And we all talk about how in our peer group that everyone was kind of go to college and do these other things. And so now we have this massive shortage. And they didn't think it was very cool, but I always thought fixing stuff was very cool.
Man,
And then it paid off for me.
I always like cashing checks. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. You know,
I don't know. So I never understood the communication degrees because if I wasn't working with my hands, then I don't know. I was getting sad if I get if I'm on the computer.
Right,
I'm getting sad.
Yeah, man. Well, dude, man, I appreciate you having me again. And like I said, it was off cuff. Let everybody know this was a last minute deal. Had a guest cancel, I'm assuming, had something come up personally, and man, you called me, and here I am. And hence the cut off t-shirt, and man, just glad to be here. Glad to
We keep doing this, man. I think we check in every few months or so.
Hey, man, just
keep it going.
Be glad to be here, man. And like I said again, just thank you for having me, and appreciate all you do for us at LOC and supporting us and supporting our customers. And man, I greatly appreciate it, and wish you the best of luck on your new venture. And hope you don't wreck your dirt bike.
Yeah, right.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
Stay unprideful.
Yeah.
Let's keep it going, man.
That's it, brother.
All right, take care.
Yes, sir.